He followed me for like a mile, snuck up behind me and ripped the key out of my bike. Yeah, I didn't even see it. I just saw like an arm reach in front of me and take the key out. I look up and there's a cop there.
The Safety Third podcast records 2 podcasts every single week. One of them is what you're watching now, and the other one goes up on our Patreon. So if you are a long-haul trucker or a procrastinator,
or you're in class.
You know what? Yeah, you're just a bad student and you would like more of your vice to help you avoid working on the things in your life that make your life better. You can go to our Patreon and subscribe and get an extra podcast every single week. I love you. All right, Nigel, you rap.
No.
Are we recording? John
am recording.
Oh, wow. Is this a default intro? I know you guys have been sending us
I was going to say,
intros.
I like this one.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Poo-poo? You finding treasures?
We've got a baby on set right now. It's complete pandemonium.
Absolute hazard. Welcome to this very special episode of the Safety Third podcast.
You sound kind of burned out, Will.
I am. Kevin, on the way here.
Yeah.
Back from the store.
Okay.
I was driving. I went to Harbor Freight. And
sounds like a good time.
Well, Harbor Freight was fine.
Okay.
Except for the fact that I needed drywall stuff. And they keep it all in the paint section. But they don't say paint/drywall on the aisle. It just says paint. How the fuck am I supposed to know where the drywall stuff is if I'm not thinking about paint?
What kind of drywall stuff does Harbor Freight
The little
sell?
metal buckets.
Oh.
And then
like the cake pins?
scraper. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyways, my day is bad because when I was driving back, everyone fucking forgot how to drive.
Yeah.
I'm okay bitching about this every episode of Safety Third podcast. Nobody uses their fucking turn signals anymore. A middle lane. When you're coming out of a parking lot, like private parking lot,
the suicide lane.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're coming out of a private parking lot, right? You're in your car, 2,000 tons. How much does a car weigh? 2 tons.
2 tons
of steel and ass.
Maybe 3.
3 tons, depending on how small your dick is.
10 tons.
And I'm coming out of a private parking lot, and there's a car that pulls up in the suicide lane to come in to the entrance that I'm exiting.
Yeah.
There's no cars. And they're just fucking sitting there.
Waiting for you to make the first move?
I have no idea. I don't have the right of way.
There's 2 things that I think are small pet peeves in driving that I always screech about. Mostly when I'm driving with my brother. One is when you don't have the right of way and the person tries to be nice.
God. I know.
And they just
no.
kind of what you said, you're leaving a parking lot and they just block traffic to let you go.
Yeah, so I don't have the right of way.
Sometimes that's nice.
I'm waiting for them.
Sometimes it's nice.
And then I can't see them.
Yeah.
I think they see me screaming at them. What the fuck are you doing? Go. Fucking go. The window, the tinted window rolls down and you just see little fingers dangling out. Go.
Yeah.
Trying to hand the right of way. Do you know if someone hands you the right of way and you go and they change their mind, it is absolutely your fault.
Oh, yeah, I see.
But it's just the fact that if they just went, they would have been gone and you could have gone.
They made it
The only time I said it's nice is when when you have no chance of merging because the traffic's just infinity. When the person takes, they sacrifice themselves and they're like, look, there's so much traffic ahead. This doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm just going to stop early to let you in. You're like, okay, bless your soul. But when it's open road and the person stops, I'm like, you're just making my life worse.
But I know this intersection that you're talking about, right? So imagine you're looking out on a road. You're trying to turn left. There's a car in the middle lane towards the left. You have to get into that middle lane to get over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there was nothing stopping them from coming into the parking lot. They could have just gone.
They could have just gone anytime.
You literally, they had to go first.
I'm waiting for them.
Yeah.
Because they are allowed to go and I am not.
Yeah.
There's nothing in their way.
They're just creating an entire interaction that didn't need to exist.
I tend to be, I'm a really courteous driver and I'm really aggressive, I think. Like I will give people an out, like the situation where someone's trapped and they can't get out. And one time I did that and the dude, like old senior citizen, just pulls straight out across all 4 lanes of intersection to get to the left turn lane and is like parked like sideways because he couldn't quite make it. And I'm sitting there and be like, I thought you would just quick right and go straight. But now he's like blocking me.
And now you like,
are you?
I think that's happened to everybody like once. And then everybody becomes jaded and they don't let anybody else do that.
I am horrified that people are allowed to drive motor vehicles that weigh 200 tons on a daily basis.
You know my big sexy truck, my big masculine.
You use it actually as a truck though. That's the difference.
Well, it's so big and awesome.
It is a little bit too big.
Sometimes like I can't turn because somebody like, they're trying to take they're trying to get out of the parking lot. I'm trying to get in. But the entrance is too small that I have to take a wide right and they're in the way. So I have to stop and like let them go. But sometimes they just won't. I'll just sit there and I'll like I'll turn into the parking lot and I'll get like an inch away from their driver's door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to move now. I like make it obvious that I can't turn in.
I read something online that I strongly agree with about the state of trucks and the people who drive them. And it was about how the ultimate utility vehicle is actually like a van.
Okay. Yeah, like the big utility van.
Like a cargo van.
Yeah.
Like it's got...
That's what I said. The caravan.
Why? I'm the more I think about it, like even my dad did this because my dad does a bunch of handyman work. He like bought this truck and then built a whole like 6 foot deep drawer system in the bed of the truck.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, I'm like, why didn't you just get a van?
Yeah. You can actually have shelves in a van.
Yeah. And everything's locked in the van. Like there's like a camper shell on the truck and it has like side panels you can open that are locked. And I'm like, wouldn't a van do the same thing?
Yeah. Cause he can never actually put anything in the bed.
Right.
So there's shelves and
the more I think about that, the more I'm like, why is the truck the like go-to thing for working?
I don't know, but I know that there's a guy who I'm still someone in contact with. He buys and sells used lab equipment.
Yeah.
And he brought it up randomly. I don't know why. He was like justifying his purchase of a truck to me. But I don't know how the conversation came up. But it's like he was one of the few people where I've ever met. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy needs a truck. Because he moves a lot of scrap gear around. Kind of like when you had your lathe and stuff.
Right.
It's like he literally would go to places and they just forklift drop it into the flatbed and he drives away. And I'm like, yeah, if you have like anything above that, you're not going to be able to carry that. And then his truck also, he lives out in the country. And he was like, I need 4-wheel drive because I got stuck for years constantly, like multiple times a year in the snow. So he's like, I wanted a higher truck that I could actually drive through unplowed streets. And I'm like, okay, this is like pretty specific, but that totally makes sense to me. But like you're saying, for a lot of people, having just like a van or something, I don't think it would make any difference.
Vans don't have the towing capacity though.
You can absolutely get vans with towing capacity.
Can you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'm like 90% certain you can.
Actually, that's fair too, if you're specifically towing. But I can guarantee you the average truck owner doesn't tow and doesn't move scrap items.
Your dad tows stuff.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any bed space.
But nothing. I think I have like a rule of thumb. If you've never carried a load where your wheels are like scraping against the wheel wells, you really should get a van instead of a truck.
Yeah.
And I think your truck has been very well justified.
It's been abused. You know what? I can't even drive my truck right now. It's the registration's expired, but I figured out a cheat. Here's a little hack for you guys.
You just keep driving without registering it?
Yes. Well, number one, I do, but there's a technique to this, okay?
Wait, Kevin, are you admitting a crime?
Yeah, he's admitting. I would say he's already committed the crime. He's just admitting to it
now. What you do is you get a lot of like drywall or something that sticks way out the back of the truck, and you put the tailgate down. And if the stuff sticks out far enough back, the cops can't see your license plate, so they don't know it's expired. So all you have to do is just ride around with like a couple of sheets of drywall in the back.
That's a good technique, Kevin. That's a good
it's
technique.
pretty good.
I mean,
What happens?
Yeah.
What happens in California if you get caught? You just get a fine or something?
Yeah, I think that you get like you're supposed to fix it. I don't know. I'm just speculating because I've definitely gotten pulled over with an expired registration when I was trying to get my car smogged. And I think that it's not bad until it's like really bad.
Yeah.
I think if you
get
go
a
way
warning.
out,
You get a warning once.
they might be able to tell that you've been warned before as well. Or like if you keep getting pulled over for it.
Oh, definitely.
I think that it's pretty lax though.
Especially you'd think in California.
Yeah.
Because I think that they're supposed to be, I don't know.
I think they don't care until a certain point. Maybe if you're like really expired and then your maybe car gets impounded or something. Like I think it's like a,
or it turns from like a citation into a misdemeanor or something like that
right.
with actual,
I don't know. I've just never heard of anybody really getting in any trouble for that.
No.
I bring this up because we were just recently talking about a friend of ours. So this popped into my head. This is years ago, probably like 8 years ago. He got pulled over by the police, and the cop. I wasn't there, but I was on the same trip. We were in two separate cars, but his car got destroyed because the cop's like license and registration, and my friend's like, and he's just like, and he's like, I don't have that. He's just like, what do you mean? He goes, he had no license and no registration.
That's bad.
And no insurance.
Yeah.
And the cop was like, if it was just one of those things, I could have made like an exception. He's like, but all three. So they just took the car, and it was such a crappy car. My friend just never got it. He just was like, okay, keep it. But then that was it.
Business.
Like there's
cheaper than getting your registration and insurance.
There was like no repercussion. I think he just lost his car, and that was it. But the car was like it wasn't an expensive car, like at most a couple grand. So it was pretty old. It was an old secondhand car, and it was kind of on its way out anyway. So I think my friend was like, well, I saw that one coming.
I think old
and that was it. There was like
cars are so unappreciated.
Yeah.
Like it is so freeing, so liberating.
To just not care.
It's like driving a rental car.
You're driving to the grocery store. You pull into the parking lot. There's only one spot left, but there's a shopping cart in it. Shopping cart. You fucking
not for long.
You run into it. You fucking run into it with your car.
Yeah.
You push it out of the way.
My dad has so many good stories with that because he would always just get the cheapest van that he could. And it was always either he got it, his friends gave it to him for free because they went to go scrap the car because it was so old. And they're like, oh, we'll give you $100 for it. And then they would tell my dad, oh, if you want to just take it, you can just have it. Just pay for the registration and everything. So he would always drive around a car that he basically got for free. So anytime he got into an accident, which wasn't often, I was in the car once.
You just like park it on the side of the road and leave.
No, I was in the car once, and it's one of the very few accidents I've been in. We got rear-ended at a red light, and it was hard enough that like the glass in the back hit us in the back of the head. Like it was a pretty jostling thing, but we get out, and my dad, we all felt worse for the other guy's car. My dad's like, I don't care.
Looks at the damage, like, we're all good. Like,
yeah,
the windows blown out, the car is destroyed.
My dad was like, oh, it's fine. So what he did was he went home and he called the insurance company, and he said, they were like, oh, we could pay you like, I think they were like, we could
$350.
We've assessed the damages. It's like $4,000 or $5,000 because the whole back door is dented, the windows blown out, everything. And my dad's like, how about you give me $3,500 and I just get it, I fix it myself. And they just sent him a check for $3,500, but he bought that car for $500.
Wow.
So he's like, and he went to the junkyard and he bought a new window for $35, and then all he did was hammer out the back door and replace, like, I think the lock was even fine. He just hammered it out and put the new window in, and he just pocketed the rest. And he's like, yep, I made money on this car.
I'm pretty sure that's how those dash cam scams work. They like slam on their brakes really hard in front of you.
Yeah, was your dad scamming people?
Was my dad committing insurance fraud?
A scammer.
Oh my God. It explains so much.
One time I've only done a couple of bad things in a car. and it was all in college because I was like sleep deprived, driving. Really,
what bad things have you done?
The first, it's like almost falling asleep, or no, probably actually falling asleep. That only happened exactly once. Like on my way home, completely exhausted, and like the bumps on the side of the road. It was just, when you like. You're like driving and your eyes just like you like
closing.
Can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand because when I go to bed at night, like I never fall asleep that good,
Yeah.
Like, oh, what? Maybe I need like some sort of freeway driving simulator, and then I'll finally like fall asleep at the
Yeah, same sitting in class. It's like, how do you just like, dude,
Right.
I would pass out in class.
Like, why can I fall asleep here but
I
not
know.
in bed? So that one was kind of like oh shit, that was bad.
Yeah.
That only happened once. The other time was running a red light, like completely zoned out. Same thing, just like sleep deprived. And I slam on the brakes, I end up like halfway in the intersection. There's no cars. It was like a tiny little middle of, town intersection. I'm like, well, what do? I got to either back up or go forward. So I just went forward and finished the job. And then the third one is like the first time it had rained in a while. So I'm driving this shitty little pickup truck. And when you are coming up to a light and it turns yellow and you're like, I'm going to drive, like I'm going to go through the yellow light because it's like, like stopping would be more aggressive. Well, the guy in front of me decided to stop at the yellow light. So he comes to a stop at the light when it's still yellow. And I was preparing to go through.
Yeah.
And it had just rained for the first time. So like
that's like a nightmare, it's like you're sliding, you're like, oh,
old shitty truck,
no
ABS. So I'm sliding, and I think he might have been sliding too. And I just like kind of bumper car it and like pushes him like a couple more feet forward. And he like pulls over. He's in this like a piece of shit car too. So he gets out of the car and I'm like, no, like pull over, like go through the intersection and like we'll pull over there. Like don't just get out in the middle of the road. Like what are you doing?
Yeah.
So we pull over and he gets out and he looks at his car and he looks at my car and he's like, we all good? And I was like, all right.
Excellent.
I feel like the world would be a much better place if we all drove shitty cars because you could just, really, you probably would destroy the insurance industry except for like actual like bodily harm. Really.
Have I told you?
Because everybody would be like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
This is only vaguely related. I was going to say, I told you about my retirement dream, right?
Which one?
I was the one where I buy a really crappy car and drive around. Just like
that's your whole retirement dream? What the fuck?
No, listen. Not looking for trouble. But I'm not avoiding it either. So what you do is you just drive around like you're retired. You don't have anywhere to be.
Oh, I get it.
If someone starts changing lanes, I'm not getting out of the way. And it's like always these douche drivers who are driving kind of nice cars. I was like, I'll just the guy who merges and cuts you off. I'm not touching the brakes. You just
Blue Ghost.
This is your whole retirement plan. Holy shit, Blue Ghost.
Yeah.
Wait, do you know about Blue Ghost?
No, I've no idea what you're talking about.
Here's some lore.
Oh my God, have we ever talked about Blue Ghost?
I don't know, maybe.
Have we ever? I feel like we had to. There's no fucking way we haven't talked about Blue Ghost.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, there is this legendary
mythical
creature called Blue Ghost.
Yeah.
It's this white trash, middle-aged white dude.
As far as we can tell. Actually, no. We've seen him getting...
we've
seen him.
Lives in
it's all from his
Southern
voice.
California. I think it's like probably like 3 miles, like 3 hours away.
Yeah, you actually...
South LA. Like it was like total, like kind of one of those absolutely
you
lovely
geolocated his place once.
Yeah, because it was so bad what this guy would do. I can't describe it as anything other than some of the most reckless driving I've ever seen in my life.
It was basically all insurance fraud.
No, but it was worse than that because it wasn't insurance fraud. Like it was like the guy was so aggressive. Okay, well maybe we start with an example to try to explain how psychotic.
Okay.
Was. We found this like long time.
Is this related to my retirement dream?
Yes, kind of. So what this guy would do is he would purposely put himself into situations where he could get mad at other drivers. Or have them hit him. I feel like it was just aggressive driving though, usually.
Or if somebody was merging in front of him, like what he would do is like he would actually
take the spot.
He would hit the gas.
Yes.
And try to end up in the spot where they were merging and then get hit.
Yeah, it's like the idea of you don't have the right of way when doing a merge taken to the next level where it's like not only do you not have the right of way, but I'm going to put you in a situation that's even worse than already like having to merge. So like one example he did is he's like turning into his like condo complex where he lives.
Yeah.
And to make the left turn, like what do? You go straight and then you put your turn signal on and then you turn left.
Yeah.
What this guy would do, Blue Ghost would do, is he would put his turn signal on, but then he would go to the right, like kind of in the shoulder to make like a really wide, unnecessary left turn.
Yep.
And then the cars behind him would be like, oh, this guy he put the wrong turn signal on. He's actually pulling to the right.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they would go past him, and right when they go past me, to rip in front of them.
Yeah.
And I think that was the one where they hit him.
Yeah, there was actually a lot of those videos on his channel. Like it's like he did that every day coming home from work.
Yes.
Just tried to bait people into T-boning him or something like that.
It was absolutely insane. And like he would do this with his like wife and child in the car. It was fucking unhinged.
The kid was always screaming and crying and the wife's yelling at him.
Wait, really?
Dude, I have never been more. I think like I was trying to figure out like where the hell this is happening, because like when you like see videos and you can tell it's California.
Yeah,
like I know this is in California. Like where in California?
You're like, there's a chance that we might encounter this guy on the road.
And I inevitably like a year later, because I was so interested in like trying to like basically the worst driver in California. Like it was so bad.
You were talking about doing a YouTube video on this
guy.
Yeah,
because it was so bad, and so like he's gonna get somebody killed. He's gonna like get his like family killed, and he's doing something in the car. There was one where he like gets like in a fight. He like gets out of his car to get in an altercation with people,
with some bikers.
Yes, and they. You know the thing where like the meme where you like walk up like this and the other person stands up and they're like a foot taller, and then you're just like, you walk backwards, have a nice day, sir. He does that, and his wife and kid are in the car like screaming at him. I've never seen anything like this in my life. And he like inevitably a year later, there's a whole like blown up news story of this
all
guy
over Reddit. There's like top of Reddit videos or something.
Yes. Yeah, he got like I think it was like Reddit, and then somebody went in and basically reported him. And I think he's got to still be in prison.
Yeah. I mean, like once they went back and they looked at all that evidence, must have been like over 100 videos.
Every single video was not just bad driving. It was like actual reckless endangerment.
I think I heard about, did he get hit?
All the time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I heard about that.
It was like Blue Ghost, but it was like B1L B blue and then G4. Oh, I don't know. It was like Blue Ghost alphanumeric.
I kind of sad that we didn't like do a thing earlier, because it ended up happening without us. Essentially, like imagine posting incriminating stuff online like that, where you're like actually endangering people on the freeway, endangering your wife, your child, driving a car. And
it looked so bad. And this guy thought he was like 100% in the right. Yeah. It was insane.
I've never.
And then he would talk shit to people in the comments too.
Oh yeah, he would fight with the comments.
It was like he would accuse everybody else of being like bad drivers in the comments.
Yeah,
like you don't know the rules of the road.
How about you go try that and see how it works out for you?
Yeah, he would like delete like the rear cam footage or something like that, so people couldn't tell that he would like merge into people.
It was definitely strategically like hiding the stuff that made him look. I mean, it all made him like his bar for what made him look bad was so low. Dude, I think all the videos are gone too. I'm pretty sure the channel got terminated.
It did. It got wiped.
Yeah, I'm sad. I don't think I downloaded any of them.
I still think you can find some stuff on Reddit. Maybe. I'm surprised that nobody archived it.
Maybe
like a fan archive.
So the guy's just certifiably like unhinged.
Absolutely unhinged, but then like putting people in danger and putting his own family in danger. And I just, it's like I don't even have a comparison other than like you're like opening a door for somebody, and then right as they get up to the door, you slam it in their face.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Oh, did you expect me to hold the door for you?
Yeah, it's like baiting somebody into thinking you're being courteous or being, and then it's so.
Yeah. They walk amongst us.
Yep.
They drive amongst us.
And I if that's a sign of anything, it makes me think that just drivers in general are like, I don't know what it is. Dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Please use your turn signals. Jesus Christ.
I was naughty in high school when I just started driving. Like,
what did you do?
Oh, I got pulled over all the time. But it was always like, Nigel was talking about the license and registration thing. That was me, dude. I never had my insurance card on me. I like my registration. I don't know where it goes.
Then you have to go to court.
You have to go to court. You just have to go to the DMV and show it.
That is such a nuisance.
Yeah, it is.
That's so much worse than a ticket.
Or see, I had a motorcycle too. Yeah. So a lot of the times it's like, where do you put it on your motorcycle? You like put it under your seat.
Between your butt cheeks.
Yeah, you got to clench really hard though, because I was going really fast.
You like hand it to him and it's just like disintegrating.
I give it to my passenger. I'm like, here, hold this. I did get in trouble for speeding a couple times, and I got my license.
How bad?
Well, one of them was really bad.
You know when Kevin says it's bad, it's bad.
One of them was, I think I was going 127 on the highway. It was like midnight.
On a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There was nobody else on the road. There was a Camaro that just merged on the highway right next to me, and he's like, vroom, vroom. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And I nailed it on my bike.
There's no way a Camaro's going to keep up with a motorcycle. It was like a 50cc Vespa.
No, it was a Yamaha R6.
No, the Camaro, I'm saying. There's no way the Camaro keeps up.
Oh, no, it did. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Even off the...
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were already going 70, and yeah, it wow. I mean, let me finish.
Okay.
So we're racing. He's pulling ahead of me. A little bit. I wouldn't say by much, but
he was pulling ahead of you at 127 miles an hour?
Yeah.
And you're on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And there was a cop up here on this overpass.
Yeah.
He's got us with his speed gun, and he comes flying down the other side of the on-ramp.
to catch up.
To catch up, yes. And he didn't stop.
The cop didn't?
The Camaro didn't stop. I stopped. And I got the ticket. And I'm like, what
was
do you...
Was he lenient, though, at least?
Yeah, he was. He gave me 99 miles per hour, because 100 is they take your license away at 100.
Because he was like, you know what? You stopped.
Do you know what that guy just taught you?
Not to stop for cops.
To not stop. What the fuck? Go after the guy who's not stopping.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, he was going faster than me, and the cop said, well, you stopped.
Also, I'm pretty sure, don't take this, I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not sure a lawyer would ever advise this, but like, I don't think high-speed pursuits in motorcycles are something that happen very frequently, because they know it ends up killing the motorcycle drivers.
Yeah, I know that, because another time I got pulled over. I wasn't really speeding. I was more of just like, doing that weaving thing through traffic. You can't do that in Florida. And
you can do that here.
The police guy, the sheriff, snuck up behind me at a stoplight. He followed me for like a mile, snuck up behind me and ripped the key out of my bike. Yeah, I didn't even see it. I just saw like an arm reach in front of me and take the key out. I look up and there's a cop there. And he's like, you're not going to run now. So I guess he had so many motorcycles to run from him.
You didn't even run.
I didn't even run. I'm like, I wouldn't have run. I promise.
He didn't give him the chance.
And then he's like, are you sure you wouldn't have run? And I'm like, yeah, I would never do that. And he's like, okay, you're free to go.
He pulls out his gun and kills me.
Yeah. But the time I got my license suspended, it wasn't bad. I was going like...
Kevin.
God, he's got the gambit.
No. This one wasn't my fault.
Okay.
So I was going like 38 and a 30 or something. It's like the road in my neighborhood. Yeah. The cop pulls me over, and he has trouble with his computer. Like, he can't actually send anything in. So he's like, oh, well, it's your lucky day. You get to go free. I get a notification in the mail like a month later saying that my license has been suspended because I didn't pay my ticket. Yeah.
Wait, what ticket?
No, I had a court date because I didn't pay my ticket.
And you had no idea.
And I had no idea.
Oh my God.
And I turned out I was driving on a suspended license for like, a month or two.
I hate automotive legalities and bureaucracy so much. Like, they don't make it easy. They don't make here's the worst one. I know I've complained about this one before. Like, it's not bad. It's just the bureaucracy is bad. I got my car smogged late as usual, because there's always something that you have to fix.
Yeah.
And so it was like a couple months past registration, which is not bad at all. Like, really, come on. It's not bad. A couple months past.
No, because they've been giving you shit the whole time.
Right.
Like, you've been trying.
Right. It's trying. And I always pay. It's always paid. So even though the registration's expired, I have already paid, which is actually all they care about, right? Like, I haven't passed smog, but I've paid. It's never a payment issue. I always pay on time.
Yeah.
The smog is the part that drags out. I pass smog. They mail me my sticker, but it's still in the mail. I haven't gotten it.
Oh.
And I get a ticket on my car for not displaying my sticker that has not arrived.
Guess what? Wrecked.
So I call the police department and I say, hey, This is stupid because I haven't gotten my sticker yet. How am I supposed to display a sticker that I'm still waiting for the DMV to send me?
Yeah.
And they said, oh,
Skill
we don't
issue?
handle that here. You have to call. And it was like some private company or I have no idea who I was supposed to call to fight it. And I was like, all right. And I just paid the $70 ticket. Like, am I actually going to like call and figure out and do this
government
whole back and
wins
forth?
again.
Because I mean, I hadn't displayed my registration sticker, but like, what do I tell them? I haven't gotten it. Like, they'd be like, prove it.
How have they not figured this out yet? Why do I still need to have my license, registration, and proof of insurance on me?
I don't know.
Because if you give them something fake, they can tell.
You're in there. You're in the computer. Like
I know I'm in the but so it's like why?
They know everything about you.
So I mean, I can tell you an answer that off the top of my head that I think is that probably for you, it's so that if you are in an accident with someone else, there is this like expectation that you have your legal documents. Because imagine you had an accident and someone's like, I don't have my license or registration or insurance.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That makes sense.
Well, they could say that anyway, even if they don't.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, but now if they don't have that, you have legal recourse to be like, this guy's in trouble. I'm just saying, like, I think
that's totally it.
It creates an incentive to like actually have your stuff with you.
Right.
I would assume, I'm not trying to defend them that much. I'm thinking in my
I think it's right. I think that's right. That makes sense.
Yeah, but you could still always say like,
but they
can't numbers.
You can't predict everything. Yeah. Well, I mean, then they give you a fake number and.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that anyway. You could have your burner that you give to the guy that you hit, and then the real one that you give to the cop.
Yeah, and then they take your license plate. You want to file a report.
You just want to create a system where it's like most people have it. If like something happens,
it's easier to do it right than to try to skirt around it. I think that's usually how it works. You end up living a miserable life if you're constantly trying to run from that stuff.
Yeah,
because then you're like making the paranoia for yourself. Like you're like building a world where people are trying to find you. It's miserable.
Like if I wasn't required to have license and registration when driving, I would probably just leave it at home all the time. Because like when I get a new registration, I have to replace it with the old one. Man, that takes me like weeks to do.
Yeah.
Or let me put it on my phone or something. Or I don't know. You just put it in there once a year and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you can do insurance on your phone now, but
oh really?
I don't have that app. I don't even know. I don't
know if I have to make an account.
I definitely have insurance.
The one time I ever got pulled over.
I'm saying I'm not. I plead the fifth. I'm just saying that I have it for anybody that's listening.
Yeah. The one time I ever got pulled over. Wait, Kevin.
It's set up on auto pay, so I'm just assuming I still, it's like a trust thing. Like I trust that they would notify me.
You trust the system that you just complained about?
I would trust them to notify me if the payment stopped working.
You thought your electricity was on auto pay too?
Well, yeah. Good point. They turn the lights off.
Wait, can I ask you guys about your government auctions?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tell me, do you guys have techniques on how to win?
Yes, do not bid until the last 5 minutes.
That's what I figured.
Mm-hmm.
What about the last 1 minute and 1 second?
So the way Gov Deals works is it bumps it back up a couple of minutes.
Well, for how much time? Like, just on the Canadian one, it's only if it's less than a minute.
Yeah, I think
that gets scary because there's no margin for error. Like, if your page loads weird or there's like some issue.
But at 1 minute and 1 second, I'm like, if you can slam a bid in, they get notified, but they have 1 minute to come and fight you.
What I would do, come up with a number that you're willing to spend. You'll usually end up going about 50% over anyways.
Yeah.
And then like literally at the end, like just watch it. Watch what other people do. Like other people they're so stupid, dude. I don't know how long has eBay and auction sites been around, and these dumbasses still haven't figured out.
Yeah,
like why would you bid on something a week before it ends?
Yeah,
like the week
it's just a waste of your own time, honestly.
Right. You look at the watch list. The watch list is the most important like criteria. There is like how don't look at the two dumbasses bidding against each other. A week and a half before the bidding. Yeah. Look at how many people are watching it
and other stuff in that lot, so you know how many eyes are on it. Yeah,
and like those people are gonna come in at the last minute, and so. Have a price. That's the most important part. Come up with a price that you're willing to pay for it, and then just watch it. Like check on it. Like maybe like every other day. Or it's easy to check on once a day. Just put it in your watch list and go check on it. It's kind of my
ritual.
It's like reading the newspaper for me.
Yeah.
Except it's not news. It's shit I don't need. And at the very end, literally like put a timer on your phone for like an hour or 45 minutes. and then just keep setting a timer, and just like once you're at the 20-minute mark, just hang out on your computer with it open on a tab and just watch what happens. And then at the very end, like at the 5-minute mark, like I would say there's no point in waiting until like 1 second, because it just drags the whole thing out unless you're trying to be really annoying to someone.
No, I'm saying, but the 1 minute, 1 second doesn't extend the length.
No, it definitely does.
On the Canadian one, it's only if it's less than a minute.
If it's less than a minute. Oh, yeah. So it'll keep counting down. Yeah.
It'll keep going, but it means that if people got outbid, they now have 1 minute to make a decision.
Yeah, that's fine. That's like, I think
so
that's just,
sometimes you end up sitting there for like 20 minutes, just going back and forth. Yeah.
And that, so like I would say, don't bid it up early. Put your maximum bid, just auto bid it at the like 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
That way, like if somebody else bidding, because at that point it's just a war of attrition. Like you're just gonna see.
Yeah,
like,
people start dropping out. Like you start knocking out other people's auto bids.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna pay $5,000 plus the 12% plus the like tax, the 8% tax. So like, ends up bumping it up like another 20%. So you're paying $5,000. That's actually $6,000 out of the gate to pick it up. Like
so you have like two levels, right? You have the how much you're like willing to pay right away, like just to see if you can knock people out.
Yeah.
So it's like the lower high number, and then maybe then you have like the upper price that you'd be willing to pay, and that's like what you would start manually bidding up to.
Yeah. You're either gonna get a really good deal, or there's a bunch of other people fighting for it, and it's like
because I was bidding for something today, and man, I'm salty. No, I'm happy I got it, but it was us against it was us against one person, and I'm like, man, if that guy just didn't show up, we would have gotten it for so much cheaper. The guy just drove the price up for no reason.
Oh yeah, and then bailed.
It was one guy.
I've definitely messed with people before where I know, like when there's something that's worth $200 and it's like at 50, like they think they're gonna get it for 50, but they're probably willing to pay like 150, and you just keep kicking it up.
Oh my god!
Well, I bought like the stainless table for doing like hydraulic work.
Oh yeah,
and there
was one guy trying to buy all of them as a set.
The 4-foot table ended up selling for way more than the 6-foot, like the 8-foot tables, because he really wanted the full set. And so just to mess with him, there were a couple that ended a little bit like a couple hours later. Yeah. I just was kicking those up too, because you could see it was the same guy.
That's fucked up.
I know.
That is not
He
nice.
made me pay $120 for a 4-foot stainless table, which is still a good deal. But he got the long ones for like $50.
Yep.
Bastard.
How many people are watching this thing that you're trying to buy, Nigel? I'm looking at it now, but it doesn't say.
I don't think you can't see how many people are watching, I don't think.
What?
Yeah, this is different. It's actually a government surplus of Canada.
That's probably why it's a crappy website. That's so stupid.
So it's a government website. It's not. I like that, because all the ones here they're like private.
No, it is. Maybe it's not. It
says government of Canada.
Yeah, it's all the government.
Why do we get? Does only America get .gov?
I don't know.
How does .gov work?
But GovDeals is not run by.
It's not
.gov.
It's
GovDeals is a private company. I actually
what?
Government
deals is not run by the government.
I called GovDeals the other day. I called them. Okay. I was so fed up with some bullshit.
Yeah.
That I found the contact number and I called, and somebody picked up.
Wow.
And I said, "What the fuck is
what
California State University Long Beach doing?"
Oh yeah.
So like when we do GovDeals, and I think a lot of people do GovDeals, you search by location because you're buying big stuff that you have to go pick up, right? Like
you want to find stuff close to you, because nobody really wants to ship stuff.
No, they will not ship stuff. Yeah. I don't think there's a single thing you
even
can
like
buy on
small things. They still don't want to bother with shipping it.
You have to go and pick it up. They're like, and I don't know why the location search is like so buried, because I can't imagine that everybody shops like this. I put in a radius. I do like 100-mile radius and put in the zip code. And one of the entities that pops up is California State University, Long Beach. And sometimes they'll post a bunch of bullshit. It's like lost and found. But they won't post a lot of lost and found. It's not like here's a box of sunglasses or something. They'll be like a pair of sunglasses, a bicycle.
Yeah.
And normally it's like, it'll all come up at like 8 a.m. Whoever's running, it's got to be a bot. I don't know. Maybe they have they can automatically like submit them and whatever. Mm-hmm. It's a couple dozen items at the most. So the other day, last week, middle of the week, I'm doing my morning ritual of govdeals.com. location search, enter my parameters, hit go, and it all of a sudden shows me some baseball jerseys. And I was like, cool, I don't fucking want that. I'll just go to the next page. And there's more baseball jerseys. And I click on the next page and there's more baseball jerseys. And I click on the next page and it's more baseball jerseys and like a truck from some other
buried in there
government seller. Yeah, buried in there.
Oh, that's the worst.
And so then I click on the next page and it's baseball pants. Single pairs of baseball pants listed for like $20. And I click on the next page. How many times do you think I clicked on the page until I finally got to the end of the complete flood, the swamp of California State University, Long Beach? 32 pages.
32 pages.
800 listings.
All at once. Basically.
800 listings for, it was a fucking swap meet, bro.
It
was
nuts.
Horrible. Like imagine location search and they're flooding Gov Deals is like, it's Taylor Dunn's used medical equipment.
Yeah.
A surplus box of US Aid condoms. 40,000 condoms.
40,000. That's how it'd be on Gov Deals, though. It's like 12,000 pallets of condoms.
Yeah. I do not come on Gov Deals to buy an individual California State University Long Beach surplus like baseball pants. It's not even a complete uniform. Like who's gonna go on there and buy? Like I actually was so mad.
Yeah, you called them.
It ruined my Gov Deals morning experience that I called them and she was like, she didn't even say like, oh, go fuck yourself. She literally was like, oh, could you send an email with pictures?
Did you?
Should I read it? Should I read my Gov Deals email that I sent? It was very professional. I said, I felt so actually happy that they picked up the phone and talked. Like I think so many of these businesses just are, it's like nobody exists here. It's not a real thing. Right?
On the Canadian government ones, they put up, there are a few little like stinky things that they sell, and I don't know why. Like little tiny knickknacks, and I'm like, who would ever bid on this?
I just reached out to phone support and was instructed to send screenshots to the seller misusing the GovDeals platform. California State University Long Beach consistently spams low-quality single-item listings which flood location-based search. Normally, it's a few dozen posts, which is annoying but easy to ignore. Today, they published over 32 pages of low-quality duplicate single-item listings, nearly 800 listings, completely destroying location search that I and many others use to find nearby items. Please stop them from treating this platform like a swap meet.
Yeah, take that to eBay.
eBay's not that bad.
No, I'm saying like take that style.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just sell
listings
it like
to
a huge
eBay.
box of jerseys, like 10 jerseys at a time.
Yeah. Because you're also paying like an extra like 15% to Bid Spotter too.
Yeah. So anyways,
or whatever Gov Deals.
That's my.
It's so weird that it's not that it's private.
No. What are you talking about? The government's incompetent. This is absolutely what they do. Some private entity comes in and runs. I think that if an auction site was run by the government, it would be significantly worse. Also, no, it just definitely makes sense for it to be a private entity because it's just a fee on top of it that they take. It's like you pay GovDeals 12%, and the actual money goes to the entity.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense.
I still think the government should do it. I mean, it just doesn't.
Do you think they would do a good job?
These people are just middlemanning. They're like leeches on society, bro.
No, they're providing us. Are you kidding? A $220 Taylor Dunn is not a leech on society.
Oh, the government should be able to do that, Kevin, right? We have the technology. I think
we should get rid of toll roads before we make the government run auction sites.
I think it would be cheaper, like get it directly from the army, your old Humvee or whatever.
Yeah, and they just list
I actually
it on
think
deals.
that there are sites where you can get stuff directly from the military. Like there is actually a government auction site.
What's stopping you from just walking on base and taking what you want and saying I paid for this?
What the heck? I just found something.
You and what army? I am the army.
Well, actually, I didn't pay for this. I forgot to file my taxes this year.
I'm looking at these.
It's like what you talked about. I saw in the Canadian auction, men's Madison trousers.
Yeah.
Size 54. They're just like old pants. Oh my and then I like how it says description. This item was forfeited to the crown. I don't know.
What?
Bro, what does that mean? I bought the queen's pants. Wait.
Well, because it's like the crown just means like the government, right? But it's like, but why were pants forfeited to the government? Like, where did they come from?
Airport, like prison.
Were they?
Yeah.
like a Lost and Found or something. I can't.
They're
I
just like generic old pants.
no, no.
I'm looking at lasers right now.
Yeah. What kind of lasers?
Fiber lasers, like the kind that I
Like
have in the
modules?
laser welder and laser cutter. Yeah,
That's the kind of stuff. Like if there's a secret to Gov Deals or any of these auction sites, it's not cars. It's not like high frequency items or like high demand items.
Look at some of this stuff. So here's like a giant chiller the size of a fridge, $5 right now. There's 17 hours left. Here's a metal 3D printer. It's $10,000.
What?
That's that's like one of those. I bought a $1 house that needs $500,000 of repairs.
But then there's like 30 fiber laser modules. I think they're starting
huge. Oh no! Oh
yeah. So like $5,
yes.
$5,
Yes.
and they only have like a couple watchers on them. Only a couple bidders.
Yes.
And these are all like new.
Yes.
So it was a metal 3D printing business that went out of business.
What kind of what? It's just
They're all
near
like
IR.
Yeah, 1500 watts, 1070 nanometers. Yeah, and look at all of them. There's like 30 of them, and they're all $5.
We definitely should buy every single one of these if they go for $5.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you could sell these on eBay for like.
You know what? I'm gonna give some advice.
$1,000
to anyone who's selling shit on auction sites as a consumer. Do not saturate your market. You will sell your stuff for way more if you list one or two things, identical things at a time. If you list multiple like identical listings of the same thing, you're saturating the like 3 people who are gonna fight for them, and they're each gonna get 1 or 3 for cheap. It's like you got a bunch of monkeys and you put one banana in the middle of them, they're fighting. If you got a bunch of monkeys and you put 1 billion bananas in the middle of them, they don't even know the other monkeys exist.
Yeah, these all have they have one bid on them for $5.
Yeah,
I think it was made by the same guy like 4 days ago.
That's who you're fighting one guy, and he realizes that if he like gives up on a couple of them, like he lets you take them. He's got
When we have it ends at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
How many are there?
I think 30.
How many is too many?
$1,000 worth.
Oh fuck, dude! You should dude. Yes. What, have you looked at the module information? Is there a data sheet?
Yeah.
You found it and everything?
There's some that are the exact same module that I have in my laser welder. Oh my God. But they're nicer, the nicer models.
How many watts? They're all 1500 or they?
Some are 1,000, some are 1500. So not as powerful.
Yeah, but you don't need it.
You don't need it.
Oh boy.
Not $4 or $5.
I think that.
Yeah.
I think that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should buy every single one.
Yeah.
I think we should buy. I think that is one of those things where you realize the more you know about something and the less everyone knows about something, the cheaper you can get it, the more money you can make off of it.
Yeah.
Like if you're an expert, like if you know that laser module can be used in a certain way and for a certain market.
Yeah.
Because you see crap and you're like, I don't know what that is. Don't buy it. Don't touch it. It's probably not valuable. Like might be someone else out there that knows it's valuable.
Yeah.
Like, unless you know it's valuable.
But I know that these sell on eBay for a lot of money. Yeah. And if you sold them for like less than that, people would just gobble them up.
You just put them up and list them.
I'm sure a lot of people are looking at this listing like, man, I wish I could go get those, but they can't. So
it's too much. Yeah. I think we should buy 30 laser modules.
Yeah. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. I'm going to be broke.
5 times 30?
Dude, there's just so much. I mean, the Canadian one's so much smaller, but there is something exciting about getting really expensive things for not very much.
Only if you know how to use them and know they're worth something. I think there's like a trap. So my old boss, when I worked at like my first engineering job where I didn't get to be an engineer, I was just the shop goblin. This guy had like 3 warehouses of some of the most ridiculous, worthless shit I've ever seen in my life.
Was it cool stuff?
It was like your eBay search in real life.
Oh.
So imagine going on eBay and seeing something cool.
Yeah.
And you buy it, and now it's not on eBay, it's in your warehouse, and you don't ever look at it. It's like I would say a mental illness or an addiction. Like it's not, I would say not healthy because it's not a collection.
Yeah.
It's not being curated. It's just you saw something, you thought it was cool, so you bought it, showed up, you opened it and put it on a shelf.
Don't even take it apart. Don't even try to use it and then break it trying to get it to work.
There was a box of these wine openers. You might have seen the one. I like stole a couple of them because it was just like a whole, like literally a crate full of them.
Are they the CO2 injectors?
No, it's the ones that like, it's like a scissor lift. You like pull them apart and it's like a jack mechanism where like, it's like a bunch of just pins holding the, so it's like a leverage amplifier. Like when you pull it back 6 inches, the cork screw only pulls back like, 1 inch or 2 inches or something.
Yeah.
And there was an entire like wire rack crate filled with them.
Like IBC tote size, like the
Yes.
4 foot by 4 foot
Yes.
thing. Why?
Huge.
What?
Like thousands of them.
Why?
I have no fucking idea.
Does he ever try to resell them?
No, he's rich.
Maybe he likes them and they went out of business.
No, I probably got a deal on him. And he's like, that was a good deal. And those are cool. And he bought them and then they sit
I
there.
can respect that.
No, but he kept them. He didn't do anything with them.
No,
then-
because it's about getting a good deal.
There were fucking like rocket engines and fire trucks scattered around the small parking lot space we had. Like literally like probably 8-foot diameter like the expansion nozzles.
Oh yeah. Is he gonna die soon or something?
Probably.
And then it's all gonna go back up on eBay and somebody else is gonna.
He's not healthy? No, this is not going on eBay. How do they do that? This might actually go. It might be enough stuff that it might actually end up on eBay.
Or
like somebody
like an auction site.
Yeah, they might wholesale it, or they might do like a commission system where they take what they do for estate sales. Like if it's valuable.
Are you
enough.
still on good terms with them?
I don't think the guy remembers me. I have told stories of him eating a half gallon of blue cheese at Black Angus, though, so I'm not sure if he knows about that. He was going to be super excited about me.
Well, you just need an in somehow.
Also, he fucking dude, I can't. It's not my fault that he ate an entire bowl of blue cheese at Black Angus. That's on him. He did it in front of his staff. I'm allowed to talk about it. What are you trying to buy, Nigel?
Do I want to?
When does it end? Just say what it
tomorrow.
Is it the helium generator?
Yeah, it's the thing that Kevin shared with me.
Cryocooler.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes. It takes gas.
I was gonna build not the cryocooler, but I was gonna build that setup basically.
The ultimate.
Dry ice bomb.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The ultimate dry ice bomb.
Yes. No, like I have a cryocooler that can do liquid helium temperatures, but it's like you have to kind of build a thing around the cryocooler to condense the helium. But then I saw that listing and I'm like, if I can do that for
you have to build a thing around a cryocooler?
So, well, because the cryocooler has the one I have is 2 stages where the first one I think is 50 Kelvin and then the second stage is like 40, it's 4.2 Kelvin. It's literally at the liquefied, like the.
Is it a cryocooler in a cryocooler?
What do you mean?
Like a stage?
Like they're stacked, like in series?
Oh, sorry. It's like just like an arm.
Or like 2 totally different units that feed in.
No, you could just think about it like there's the cryocooler like top part, and then it goes down, and there's like a big ring that's like the higher stage. So it's like the hotter one. Then it kind of goes down into a tinier one.
Is it like encapsulated in the first one? So the first one is the heat sink for the second one?
No, they're just 2 separate things.
Why?
I don't know how it mechanistically works, but the reason for it is because the first stage has a lot more I don't know the exact numbers, but it has like somewhere around like 45 watts of cooling capacity at around 45 Kelvin.
At the cost of 45 kilowatts?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But then the one that's at 4.2 Kelvin that can actually condense the helium only has 1 watt of cooling power. So you kind of want to get any helium coming in or any, I was going to say any gas, but any helium coming in, you want it to get it from room temperature to about 45 or 50 Kelvin, and then to pass it slowly over the one that has much less cooling power that will actually liquefy it.
I wonder if it's 2 different kind of refrigerant tunings. So like, I think a regular like home refrigerator is designed specifically to operate at room temperature. So you're taking your working gas, you're compressing it, cooling it, and expanding it. And that all
it's like
happens.
the difference in temperature is like tuned to room temperature.
Exactly.
Like
So,
around it.
Like, the phase change, like, like the thermodynamic cycle of that specific refrigerant, the working gas. And so if you try to make it work at lower temperatures, it probably doesn't work as well, or works in a like way that you don't want it, or inefficient or something like that. So my guess is, even if it's like the pressure in the system, like if once you get colder, you need to have either maybe like a different refrigerant, or a different pressures, or a different,
Yeah.
like maybe you're working with like, maybe it's less gas, or maybe it's more gas because the whole system's cooler. Like, but it's not. How do they work?
This one's
Stirling
a
engines,
Gifford.
or?
It's a Gifford McMahon, so I don't know exactly the cycling, but I think it's physically how the cycling works.
No, that's is that the tube one? What do they call it? The
I actually don't know.
Have you seen Hyperspace Pirates video series on
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's the one that he's trying to make with like the buffer tube or something.
I think they are Stirling engines.
But I think his is a Stirling, I think. That's what I thought.
So the Stirling engine is a like air displacement thing. Wait, how does this work? Because when you heat up one side of the Stirling engine, I built one in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was like out of a CD case, like the clear plastic, like cylinder. You have a displacement piston, which is like
he's doing pulse tube.
Yeah, pulse tube. That's what I meant.
What's
Well, no, not pulse tube. That's one that you feed with compressed air, and it like you get the hot and the cold end. He was doing one before that.
I don't know how any of this works. I'm not even gonna pretend.
It's actually
I think it's
a lot more
Stirling
complicated.
engine. I think it is a Stirling engine. It like compresses the working fluid, and then it expands, and it like displaces the air. So like it moves the air,
Compresses it, cools it, and then expands
exactly.
it.
But so it does it with like a piston. So like it squishes the air, which compresses it, which makes it hot.
Yeah.
And then the displacement piston goes down. So the working gas gets shoved out of the coolant system up to the top where there's heat sinks. So it comes back down to room temperature, whatever. And then when the cycle continues, the displacement piston pulls up, which pushes the compressed gas down. And then the piston retracts, which causes it to expand, which causes it to absorb energy. So it literally is like taking this blob
the air
of
has
gas.
to do work for it to cool down.
So it's compressing it and then displacing it to the heat sinks. There's two pistons, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's decompressing it after moving it down to the refrigerating end.
Yeah.
So it's literally the gas is just like.
I mean, I think they all just thermodynamically work on the expansion and compression of gas, I think.
But I think the thought is the second stage is because whatever working fluid they're using inside does not work well at lower temperatures. So they have to use a different system. Or maybe more compression or less compression. I don't know.
For helium, all of the refrigerants are helium.
The fuck?
Because because nothing can get.
Basically, how did they make the first one then, Nigel?
What do you mean?
Oh wait, no, it's not liquid helium.
It's not liquid, so it's using high pressure helium gas as.
Because it's a higher pressure, so
you have to feed gas into the cooler. Is it? You want to see if it is a Stirling engine? I'm curious.
Yeah,
because there's so many different types. I know that there is.
Yeah.
No. This one's a Gifford McMahon, but then there are Stirling cryocoolers. Then there are pulse tube cryocoolers.
What's a Gifford McMahon? I don't know what that is.
It's just the design, but I think they all fundamentally work on the same like principle. Like types of cryocoolers.
Gifford McMahon cryocoolers. Whether you need 10 watts and this is not a name brand. This is like the actual phenomenon.
So yeah, there's
Pulse
Stirling.
Tube, that is what Hyperspace was doing.
So there's Stirling, Gifford McMahon, Pulse Tube, Joule Thompson, and Brayton. Jesus Christ. I think the reason why Gifford
developed
McMahon
the first Gifford McMahon cryocooler in 1963, over 20 different baseline cryomech models have been introduced. Blah, 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 blah.
I think they said the Gifford McMahon has a high capacity for cooling. It's simpler, but it's not as efficient, I thought. There's just like pros and cons of everything.
I never understand the regenerator part. Like,
what
like so it just has like, there's a diagram of it, and it has this thing called the regenerator.
Does that help is that the working gas?
I don't know.
What?
Dude, I saw
no,
I saw
low pressure
Hyperspace
gas
Pirates
return.
like entire video series on making this pulse cryocooler,
Mhm.
and he kept
You're like,
talking
yeah,
about
okay.
the regenerator and how it has to be like the gas has to move. I think it is like the heat sink kind of thing, but it's like you can't have the gas travel through it too fast or too slow.
Yeah.
It has to be just right. And
I think you want to create like you want to capture like a gradient. Like I think if that's what it is.
oh yeah, it has to be like the right material
Yeah.
where it's like it's conductive but not too conductive, and
Because you like,
because you don't want the heat to be able to travel from one side to the other,
yeah.
something like that.
I mean, this is
Yeah.
kind of maybe a shitty analogy, but like what are the thermal tiles called? The Peltier
Oh
units.
yeah.
Like I'm using one for a project, and if like you put 12 volts into it, one side gets hot, one side gets cold. If you leave it on and don't cool the hot side, both sides get hot, but the cool side is slightly less hot.
Yeah.
So it's like it is working and it's making it cold, but since you can't get rid of the heat fast enough, it's actually hotter than the rest of the room because it's like an inefficient process, like 10% efficiency or something,
Yeah.
maybe less. No, I think it's 10.
So you're making 9 parts of heat for every
Yeah, one part
One
of
part of-
cool.
yeah.
So it's like, I think you want to, if you can like move, I think it's like, it's not, I don't know, man, I'm just making things up right now. But I think it's like, you probably want to add heat or remove heat from it at the correct rate. So you don't end up like actually adding more heat to the system. That makes sense. Like, or you want to, like, I'm assuming, what's it recovering, hot or cold? The regenerator.
I think hot.
So then you want the beginning of it to be as hot as possible.
Or
But if you let the gas stay in too long,
or I think it's like a pre-cooler for the gas that's coming in.
you're like, I think
don't know,
with
man.
like with like turbine power plants, they'll preheat the water using the exhaust. So it's like you have extra heat coming out of the engine that's not
Oh,
like
yeah.
that you're from the fuel you're burning, that like the exhaust is not going into turning the water into steam.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take that and you like wrap it around the pipes that are coming
Yeah,
in.
like rocket nozzles do that
Yeah.
too.
Because the steam has to leave as steam, but it still has energy in it. And so you can like capture that energy earlier in the cycle by like, I think that's like regeneration.
Oh,
I
okay,
think.
okay.
I mean, I was doing some research into biochar, like, which is like apparently just basically charcoal, and the hippie. I asked ChatGPT if it was hippie shit, and it said no. And then, but it still really feels like hippie shit. Apparently, acts as a like a medium for like microbes and stuff or whatever. It like can help soil keep beneficial. I don't. Yeah.
And because stuff needs, they always say like, oh yeah, you need like carbon nutrients, and I'm like, what's eating pure carbon?
I don't really
Nothing.
I don't
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just think it's because you're skipping past a lot of the like decomposition, and you're just getting like the mineral nutrients out of whatever you burn, like the ash and the
it's not
phosphate.
ash, though. It's just carbon.
Yeah, but it's still in there.
The just carbon?
It's not just carbon.
I thought it was just carbon.
Well, I don't know, Nigel. When you turn something into charcoal, like what happens to all the other bits? You know, like the nitrates and the phosphates
Off
and
gas?
I don't think so. I think
No?
You should. I mean, it depends. It depends. Like, what are you trying to turn to charcoal?
Is it a different type of carbon? Does charcoal go from some carbon form to another carbon form when it turns to ash? Because it turns to CO2 is what comes off, right?
What are you trying?
Well, you want to keep it from turning into CO2.
But what's left after you turn it into CO2?
Well, like on a barbecue grill, how you have the gray stuff.
Yeah, what is that?
That's ash. That's like all the other stuff that was left in the plants that didn't off gas. Because it can't. Because it's like there's potassium hydroxide and stuff like that.
Yeah. So like if you have oxygen present, you'll have things like probably there's things like
charcoal is not
that
just
will
carbon.
come.
No,
the charcoal
that really is one point towards hippie shit, because all the hippies
the minerals will be
have
left
no idea
behind.
what they're talking about. I trust
But it
ChatGPT
depends, like
more than a hippie.
You know what they did? They just make biochar seemed like this, snake oil. It's like it's the best thing, they're like biochar. That's all you need.
A soil scientist told me this, and so I was like, I feel like I need to look into this, and then I looked into it, and I was like, I don't know.
You know what else is a miracle? They sell it at Walmart. It comes in a little green box. It's called the Miracle Grow.
It's called Grandma's. Oh, Grandma's ashes.
Hey, that would probably work.
Oh, anyway, so I was looking into this, and of course, then it's like, building like a charcoal drum. And what they do, or what the fancy ones do, not the hippie ones, is the wood's off-gassing, and the off-gassing is flammable.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to heat the wood up.
Yeah.
But you don't expose the wood to oxygen, right? Because it's gonna burn and turn into ash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you make it just whoop.
Yep. So you take a straw, you put it in the mouth, and wrap it around to the ass.
And you don't stick it in, but you just let it blow air.
So you get it started. Yeah. You start the fire on the outside of your your pressure vessel that's not actually a pressure vessel. And then it starts heating up the wood, which then causes the off-gassing, which is what? Just volatile compounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just break down products of the wood itself that just off-gas.
And it is flammable. And so then you take that and dump it back into whatever you were heating it, whether with wood or propane or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can you're burning the wood indirectly. Which is kind of funny. But I feel like that's kind of like a regeneration. You're recovering the a lot of people don't do it, but I don't know, that to me is kind of like
you can also process. Distill it, and then you get this
like a liquid.
Yeah, like a liquid. The wood gas or whatever.
What would you do with that?
I don't know. That's some homesteader.
It's a fuel. People use it for I don't know.
Homesteaders will spend $10,000 making a wood gasifier
to save $3 of gasoline.
Yeah, so they can use all the extra wood that they cut down.
I think it is funny to think about it that way, though. Kind of like how you're mentioning when you heat up the wood, and I mean the thing you just mentioned is that's just what happens when you burn wood, right? Like you heat it up enough that it volatilizes, and then it just all happens in one spot where it's burning. The heat it makes can burn itself. So what you're doing is just separating it kind of weirdly.
Yeah.
But I think what is weird when you do collect the wood gas or whatever, it's wood is just this flammable, volatile stuff, but kind of soaked into a cellulose matrix. But you separate it. Now you just have this fuel that is kind of I don't know. It's if you burn it, you are kind of burning. It's like burning the wood, but you just took away.
It's not, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I think that's weird.
No, yeah. It's like taking your brain out of your body, but still having it connected with wires. You're just because if you've seen the
you
magic
have the two
trick,
parts, yeah.
You you take a candle and they will make the flame go away, and then they'll add the flame back because it's not actually the wick that's burning, it's the off-gassing of the wax that's been pulled up, heated, and then it's I mean the wick is burning.
Yeah, it's like a fine particle mist of
it's like a mist
smoke
of wax.
Yeah.
And so it's not nothing's actually burning. The wood's not actually burning. It's the off-gassing that's causing the flames. And once all everything is gone, it's you get the smoldering, the charcoal, which is just, I guess, whatever's trapped in there that's still flammable.
Yeah, just the carbon, really.
Plus the extra crap.
Yeah. Anything that's not hot enough to burn away in a fire.
So what is, when you have charcoal, for your barbecue, what is burning?
The carbon is reacting with oxygen.
So the carbon, the form the carbon is in, is reactive to oxygen.
Yeah, when it gets hot.
And so then the entirety of the carbon leaves.
Yep.
And you're left with any of the shit that was just straggling, the non-carbon stuff.
Yeah.
So you're
the nutrients the plant took up.
You're adding basically more CO2 to the environment, and the carbon just completely disappears.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there goes all the carbon that trees sequestered.
That's kind of cool. I don't know. There's something about that where it's just completely disappears.
Yeah, you know what's crazier? That trees are just pulling all that carbon out of the air
opposite, using the sun. Bro, it's fucked. So the sun is used to pull carbon out of the air, and then we just monkey mode. Put it back.
Set it free.
For
it wants to be free.
Trees are like solar panels, and firewood's like batteries.
Man, you've been on that biochar shit, aren't you?
Bro, I smoke too much biochar, Kevin. I can't think about things without without seeing rainbows and drugs and what else do hippies do? Homesteading.
That's most
definitely
chickens.
You know, okay. Here's another.
Crystals.
Yeah, my crystal meth. Here's another rabbit hole I went down last night. I don't know how I got into this. I think, dude, no, you know what? I know it's probably got recommended. We've got the chickens now, and the chicken feed is pretty expensive. I was trying to do the math of how much do the chickens eat, and apparently it's about, I think the 50-pound bag is about 2 weeks of chicken food. I don't know how much letting them outside, like letting them raise, is going to reduce the cost. Because I was trying to figure out, is it worth buying like a pallet of chicken feed for cheaper? But then you have, like a year's worth of food that you have to store, then rats and stuff get into it.
Yeah.
So then I'm like looking at other stuff, and you can like feed just scraps to chickens. Like you can just give them food.
Like anything.
Okay.
Table scraps?
Yeah, just table scraps for them. I mean, someone's going to say, oh, you can't give them this and that. It's like, they cost $6 each. I'll give them whatever. But what I saw people doing is they'll just have a bucket of food scraps that they like bait flies into, this like black soldier fly or something it's called.
They like buy fly eggs, or the flies naturally?
The flies naturally are attracted to it. And you throw anything in there and it like rots, and it's truly actually horrific. Like I hate this kind of stuff because it's like you're just, not fly nightmare. And then the grubs like crawl upwards, and so like they crawl out of the tote,
and that's where the
chicken just go and eat them. So it's like, but I don't really understand the difference between like, why not just give your chickens food scraps directly versus then throwing them in a tub and waiting for them to turn into grubs.
Maybe because the grubs will eat like rotten food.
Yeah, they will.
So you can like
stuff too that you don't give the chickens.
Yeah.
That's the only thought.
So you can just like keep adding stuff to the pile, and you don't have to care about stuff on the bottom going bad.
Or is it hippie shit? You know what I'm saying? Like hippies do that thing where they like come up with a process that they then don't do any math to like vet and validate, and they'll put all this effort into something where it's like, just give the chicken scraps directly.
Yeah, just give them enough so they eat it all.
Yeah.
And then give them some more.
Like, I don't understand. Like,
it's like a lazy workaround that they've gaslit themselves into thinking is better.
Yeah, they're doing more work for something that does not get them any benefit, or maybe even less. I think that is pretty much what science is like validating this kind of stuff of like, does it actually make sense to feed the chickens grubs or just give them the food directly? Like maybe there's a reason, but also maybe just give them like a salt block to lick, and they get the whatever weird mineral that they were getting out of the grub.
Yeah,
like I don't know. Or
why not just something that attracts flies?
Yeah, and I think the flies are harder for them to catch or something. Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. What do you think, Nigel? What are you looking at?
Videos that I filmed.
You need to lock your computer when you're on a podcast. This is disrespectful.
I got sidetracked because
Say something insightful, Nigel, right now. I'm putting you on the spot.
A window, it's very insightful. A window popped up that I had open, and then I went, wait, where are all the files that I filmed? And I have no idea where they went, and I started getting concerned.
Did you find them?
Nope.
Oh, should we talk about the grapple? I think we should talk about the grapple.
The results that you got?
Has anyone else tried the grapple since you made that video?
What do you mean?
Are there any other people that have like followed it as a tutorial? How do you feel about people following that video as a tutorial, by the way? Does that make you comfortable or uncomfortable?
I mean, they can do whatever they want.
Because I was feeling like, man, if Nigel left some information out and we get hurt, I'm going to sue him.
Absolutely going to sue him.
Yeah. He didn't tell us not to try it at home, right?
I thought saying that it was bird repellent was pretty...
It's food grade, man. What could food grade possibly mean if not you can eat it?
Yeah. Nervously drinks iced tea.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Kevin.
I definitely I won't. I think that the apple definitely could be left longer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need to explain?
I don't think you guys did it right. Mine was perfect. No,
go fuck yourself.
No.
What do you mean?
My apple was perfect. Did you use a Fuji apple?
Yeah, we used like 4 different apples. You didn't even watch it, did you?
I didn't know it was out. Your turnaround time is incredible.
Yeah.
I don't watch his videos.
It was like one day. It was nuts.
Yeah. The power of a lean, mean editing machine. If I have to edit my own videos, they come out every 2 years.
How far did the the grape flavor penetrate into the apples when you tried it?
The entire thing.
I don't know what we did differently.
Did you leave it out for like an hour and then leave it for 24 hours in the fridge?
We just probably. I think we might have just thrown it in the fridge. But
you dunked it and then threw it in the fridge?
Yeah,
Did you
we let it sit.
Let it sit?
The dunking doesn't. I don't think the dunking. I think the dunking just makes a film on it.
It just coats it.
I think it just coats it, and so I don't think you have to dunk it very long.
Okay.
And then you let it sit for a long time.
What concentration?
2%. I did a cup and a half in 5 gallons, which I still feels like it's not 2%, but I think it is. I did a cup and a half in 5 gallons is 2%.
Dude, I don't know. Like, how many cups?
That would be like 50.
128. 150
cups is 5 gallons. Does that seem right?
32 cups per gallon.
Dude,
that's right.
I hate doing any calculations with Imperial. It's just horrible.
Yeah, I like just moving decimal points around. I don't like this having to whip out my phone and conversions and
base 16.
So we dunked everything. We just threw it in the tub, let it get a nice little coat, except the fucking lettuce. Holy shit. And then we pulled it out.
I'll look it
into a tray and stuck the tray in the fridge for 24 hours. That's it. The apple, or did you are you sure that the interior of the apple had been permeated?
Yeah, we tested it.
You ate, so the way Kevin did it is he ate it sort of like goblin style, where we took the wedge and ate the center first.
Yes.
And I didn't taste anything. Not until I got to within like a...
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm watching your video.
You look so fucking bored. Holy shit.
Okay, no. Okay, I was so confused because you were washing it. I was like, why is your solution clear?
Do you have any idea what else is in the bird stop? No.
Probably nothing, honestly. It's just some sort of surfactant to just keep the methylenthranolate
at bay.
Suspended. Yeah, I think the rest is water probably, like, or maybe it's just maybe it's just pure surfactant.
I think there's definitely something going on in there.
Some kind of soapy thing.
Yeah. I think it might actually work. What is probably what makes this work though is like, I'm assuming the methylanthralonate, is that my methylanthralonate?
Methylenthranolate.
Methylenthranolate. Chemistry is the worst. Is volatile, yes? I mean, I can't imagine it's anything other than volatile.
It's an oil,
though.
The whole neighborhood smells like grape.
Yeah, it does. So like,
it's volatile, yeah.
So the surfactant is keeping it like locked in.
It just allows it to dissolve in water.
So then, basically, what you're doing is you're coating the fruits with a film, and it's slowly bleeding out into the fruit instead of it just like dumping all at once into the air.
Yeah.
So it would just be like letting it sit longer potentially.
Would help it like diffuse from the edge like deeper into the apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or doing like multiple coatings, like do one, let it sit, do another, let it sit.
I mean, looks like you did it right.
That's fine. I'm curious if you.
But did you use specifically a Fuji apple?
Yes. Whatever the fuck that is. It said Fuji when I got it.
Why does it have to be a Fuji apple?
Does not have to be a Fuji apple.
Specifically in the patent, it names them.
We definitely tried Honeycrisp, Fuji, Delicious, Red Delicious, Granny Smith.
It worked on all of them.
It worked on all of them, yeah.
Huh. Okay.
The weirdest part was some of them were like, it almost like the flavor profile became completely different with it added.
Yeah.
Like it just didn't work at all. Like it's like you need certain things
the Granny Smith. I don't think it worked with that one.
The one I'm thinking mostly of is just regular grape.
Like,
it did something to the grapes, but it absolutely did not make them taste grapier.
And some of this, you couldn't even taste it in some stuff. Like the radish, I couldn't really taste it.
It just made it taste like It was like almost like a different flavor.
Oh, the cucumber was weird.
Yeah.
And the tomato.
Yeah.
It made them taste really grassy.
Like it like added a completely different element of flavor to it than grape. I don't know. I think that's really interesting.
It's almost like a mystery flavor. You don't know what it's going to do to a certain fruit or vegetable.
Like if you don't have other flavors with it, like it's almost like, you know, like the smell and scent science. I think we've talked about like the idea that you can mix 3 scents. I don't know if it went in the video, but you said like Skitol in low quantities is fruity or floral.
Or it's like, yeah, it's supposed to be floral.
And then in high quantities is feces.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, in the same
Something
way,
like
I
that.
always, because like chicken is sulfurous. So it's like if people, I've always found, at least for me, if someone's cooking chicken but far away, it'll smell sulfury. But then when I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? Then as I walk, like sometimes even just a few steps, I'm like, oh, that's chicken.
It's like the red blue shift traveling at the speed of light. It's like the speed of smell, like will separate all the smells.
Yeah.
And so you're recognizing them as something different than what they are together.
I've never smelled
Well, I guess like,
I've never really
sulfury.
smelled
Yeah.
it, yeah.
I think the
Who's
reason
cooking
why,
in your house?
God knows. My mom. So what my assumption would be is that, I mean, this is just a fact. You have like different sensitivity to different smells, but it's just kind of like when you smell a complex smell like chicken, you know it's chicken because you're getting hit with this like array of chemicals.
13
Neurons are all
spices.
firing at the same time, and your brain is like, okay, this kind of complex signal is chicken. But if you go far away, there are certain smells that might drop below their smell threshold, but then certain ones that might
Way
still make it
stronger.
there. And like people are very sensitive to sulfur. So it's just kind of like you might just smell the sulfur part, but then you take like, you know, you go just a bit closer
Dude,
and then you get the other ones.
It's like a spectrum analysis, but with like space
Yeah.
and smell. That's
Yeah.
so fucking weird.
Yeah.
The idea that a smell can change over time because of the properties of the individual smell components.
Yeah, because some are more volatile, so they're
leave.
faster. Yeah.
Imagine like farting
And then, like-
and then it like if you're far enough away, it smells good. That's like floral.
But your nose, certain smells also desensitize your neurons, so that it's like the smell can change over time.
Mm-hmm.
It is pretty odd.
Like, yeah, it really is kind of makes you a little bit uncomfortable to think about. Like, there is no such thing as the smell of something, except for maybe something like methyl and thralinate.
Yeah,
like pure
single
chemicals.
But
But even then,
chemicals in a certain dosage.
even then, like your pure chemical probably hits like a bunch of different receptors. So then it's like every chemical is hitting a bunch of different receptors, and then it's not like there's one receptor for like methyl and thranolate, right? It probably hits a little bit of like, I don't know, hits like all these different ones, and like that whole complex image, your brain goes methyl and thranolate, but then you mix that with something else, and now it's like that plus something else makes a new complex image.
How does your nose work?
You have nerves that stick out of your brain up here.
But like, how many different types?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it like?
Well, yeah,
10?
the nerves must have some kind of special shape to them, so different molecules can fit in there, right?
Is it like a?
I think they have like
couple
little
dozen?
receptors and stuff that just are
How
on the
many
surface.
receptors though?
I'd wager at least one.
God
But-
damn it!
Maybe I
I
would say 2.
You think 2 different ones?
Well, one for each side.
God damn it! You fucking assholes! You know what I'm saying?
How many?
How many
scent
you got in your
receptors?
eyes? You've got colors and light. So you got like 4, right?
350. Wait, there's 350 different genes. Oh no, yeah, 350 different genes. So it says humans should. This is according to Google AI. Should have around 350 different types of scent receptors.
Holy shit!
This other one says, yeah, the NIH says less than 400.
That's fucking crazy.
Do dogs have more different types or just more receptors?
I can look it up. It says mice have 1,200. So mice alone just have like, there's just more acuity, I
Wow.
guess.
So we're like smell blind, basically.
Yeah.
We can't smell the third form of Skitol,
Exactly. Yeah.
which is I can't even
So,
describe
and
it
then
because we don't know
the
what it is.
total number of receptors in your nose, like not just the numbers of types of receptors. Humans have 100 million to 300 million like receptors.
Okay.
Sorry. That was dogs. Dogs have 100 to 300 million. Humans have about 5 to 6. So like the straight number of like it just means that your detector is so much more sensitive.
My sniffer. That's there's some dogs below us.
Well, that just means that my sniffers have a better smell to noise ratio.
Don't they say
they're bigger?
Yeah, exactly.
Women can see more colors. Maybe we can smell more smells.
Yeah.
That's why farts don't gross us out as much.
Yeah, we get the nuance.
Yeah,
in a fart.
There's a complexity there that women just don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you
Do they?
Chip Boyardee? Garlic? Frank's Red Hot?
No, but it was just Italian. Italian is just...
a Hot Pocket that was on sale.
Yes, the pepperoni one.
Yes. It was expired the day after you bought them. Well, I think that's interesting. Maybe we ask more about smells on the Patreon episode of the Safety Third podcast.
Coming up next.
Right now. If you support us on Patreon, you get an extra podcast every single week where we do the same thing we do now, plus also Q&A too sometimes. So I actually think that when we are answering questions and they're asking good questions, that it's sometimes I like where that conversation goes.
Yeah.
They make you think about things you wouldn't think about otherwise because they're not afraid to say the dumbest shit ever.
Oh, no, they're not.
No. What happens if you get cum in your blood?
And if you're not afraid to say things like that, then
this is
like join the Discord server.
In 5th grade when you did sex ed,
because you'll be right at home.
They put a mystery box where you could ask any question you want. You write on a piece of paper and throw it in and we'll answer it. That's kind of how it works, except your name's attached to it, so we'll shame you. I will see you guys on Patreon.